What's going on, guys? Blazing Tech, and in this video I'm going to talk about why you might want actual iPad OS in your car as opposed to Apple CarPlay, and we're going to talk about a lot of different details, and I'm going to show you guys how I have this mounted up. Now, the way I have the iPad mounted, as you guys just saw, is using these 3D printed phone mounts that I made, and I've made a video about how I mounted it up as well. And I also mount my phone up in this way as well, which is really cool. It's kind of multi-purpose. I'll leave the video for that. I'm currently trying to find a way to make them and sell them to you guys, and that's just for another video for a later time, because I'm not able to make them affordable and very easily for me just yet. But this video is to the person that is really wanting an Apple CarPlay head unit in your Tacoma, and I'm going to try and convince you why that's not such a great idea. The first thing that I'm going to say is that there's a lot of, if you have the Entune Plus, there are a lot of features that are integrated into the stereo, into the head unit, that you're going to lose if you upgrade to a different stereo. And I don't know what exactly those are, and I've seen them before, like my dad's truck has it, the fuel economy and stuff like that, and it's a 17, my dad's TRD off-road. You're going to lose all of that if you go ahead and upgrade to a newer stereo, a new Apple CarPlay head unit. And they're fairly expensive. Obviously, there's other pros and cons of, having a different head unit. I personally think that the stock stereo sounds phenomenal, and I have 10 years of music experience playing jazz band, orchestra, double bass, electric bass, so please take my word for that. I think that the high end is a little on the weak side, but I just haven't invested the money into doing the kicker upgrade, and to me that's it. I think that this stereo sounds phenomenal for a stock stereo. But back to another point is that when you upgrade to an Apple CarPlay unit, first, they're super expensive. I think the nicest reputable brand one is the Pioneer NEX, and I think those come in at about $3 something. But if you wanted to keep all of the OEM steering wheel controls, the OEM mic, the backup cam, it's going to cost you about $75 in just wiring adapters. I mean, to me, that doesn't make any sense to me, that you're going to buy a new vehicle, or you have a 2016 to 18, I think it was, or 19 Tacoma that doesn't have Apple CarPlay, and you're going to spend almost, let's just call it, depending on what you get, $500 for a new head unit just to have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And this gets into my next point, that another reason why I think that this is a great option for anybody that is kind of on the fence about changing your head unit is that you don't have to take any of this off. You don't have to take any of the wires out. And that could be scary for people. I've done a couple head units in my lifetime, my very short lifetime. And, if you run into a snag in a new car, you're going to be really upset with yourself. And I would hate for anybody to mess up their truck or anything like that just because they wanted to add a head unit, when this, in my opinion, is just as great as having Apple CarPlay. And then literally when you're done, you can just take it off and put it down, and you can get your backup cam and stuff like that. So that's another pro of this, is that you're not going to have to take out your OEM stereo and monkey around with wires and stuff like that. And I can envision that there's a mess of wires behind here. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in and of themselves are a dumbed down version of what your phone can do, and that's kind of why I was kind of on the fence there, because I'm going to have to spend a lot of money to lose some of the OEM features. Now, I wouldn't, but you guys would, because obviously I have a more basic stereo, but you're going to pay a lot of money to lose a lot of OEM features that are integrated, as well as the fact that you're going to get a really dumbed down version of what your phone can do. So that's what led me to really go out and try and do something like this, which is add an iPad into the dash. And it's just worked out really well for me, because just like with CarPlay, and this is another great point, you're not going to use CarPlay to its full ability unless you're going somewhere where you don't go often every week. If you're going to spend $600 on a stereo that has the ability to just throw up your GPS or use Waze or, text, respond, that's another thing that is actually really cool. I'm not going to take that away. Siri, but I can talk to Siri using this head unit. I can text and receive calls using this head unit. So to me, the difference is those beautiful, beautiful maps. And just with this setup, I can do exactly what it is that I want to do. And it's just absolutely awesome that I've got this beautiful, beautiful map right here ready to roll, right? And just depending on, where you are, what you want to do, which iPad you have as well, is that I can do a split screen and I can have my Spotify right here with my library and all of my playlists, and it's just awesome. Obviously, another thing is that $75 for that wiring, if you don't pay for the wiring kit, you're going to lose this USB port down here. So obviously when I want to use it, I literally just plug this in and it's going and it's charging, and I have my maps right here. And I only use this when I go somewhere or I travel, I do something that I don't normally do, and to me it just saves a lot of money, it saves a lot of time. It's really, really cool. If I go on a long trip of such, I don't condone this at all, but if you have a passenger, maybe a younger passenger, you can just throw up a movie or something like that, and it gives you the perks of having a fully functional Apple OS or a tablet OS, whichever tablet you decide to add to your truck. And I think that just having an iPad is 10 times better, and it's also more affordable to have an iPad here because you can actually use this at home too, and you guys probably may even have an iPad lying around. Now, the way I use it to get internet is I just tether it from my phone. You can always get an iPad that has cellular data built in. That'll cost you a little bit, but I just wanted to share this with you guys, and this is what I use. This has fulfilled my need for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, because let's be honest, we're not going to use all of those features to their full advantage. In conclusion, guys, I think that having an iPad, this iPad will run you about $200. This is the iPad Air 2. It's compatible with iPad OS. That's what I'm using to do as split screen right here. Older iPads won't be able to do this. If this doesn't ring a bell to you, you don't really like it, if you mainly want this for maps, I would go for an older iPad, and you can get a iPad this size, 9.7 inch, for as little as $100. It's very, very affordable. And then if you find a way to mount it up, I really want to get these mounts out, and maybe having this video do well will be more inspiration for me to get these mounts out to you guys. I think that this has really satisfied what I envisioned that I would need for Apple CarPlay, and if this helps anybody else out, I would think that I did a really good job. So this was my video to kind of steer you guys away from Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and possibly towards having a fully fledged iPad on your dash instead. You're going to save a lot of money this way. Thanks for watching, guys. Blazing Tech, and we'll catch you on the next one.